car lovers, and welcome to a new video. Today we cover a very interesting story, the million-mile Toyota Sequoia story. Imagine owning a car for so long. A, that it drives 1 million miles, that's about 1.6 million kilometers. To put that into perspective, that's like driving around the Earth 40 times. Most cars struggle to survive 200,000 miles. Many break down long before that. But one SUV refused to quit. A simple family vehicle, the Toyota Sequoia, quietly made history. No special racing technology, no experimental engine. Just an ordinary SUV that turned into a legend. This is the story of the million-mile Sequoia, and the lessons it taught even Toyota engineers. In the early 2000s, Toyota introduced the Sequoia. It was designed as a large family SUV, big enough for road trips, strong enough to tow boats and trailers, comfortable enough for everyday life. At the time, nobody thought of it as a legendary vehicle. It was simply transportation. The first generation came with a 4.7-liter V8 engine, the same powerful engine used in Toyota trucks. The SUV was built on something called a body-on-frame chassis. This means the body sits on top of a strong steel frame, the same design used in heavy-duty trucks. Why does that matter? Because truck frames are built to handle stress, weight, and rough conditions. But still, even strong vehicles eventually wear out. Or at least, that's what most people thought. One owner purchased a 2002 Sequoia. For him, it wasn't a luxury item. It was simply the vehicle he relied on every day. His job required long-distance travel, so the SUV spent most of its life on highways. Day after day, year after year, the odometer slowly climbed. 100,000 miles, then 200,000 miles, then 300,000 miles. Most cars would already be showing serious problems. Engines begin to wear, transmissions start slipping, repairs become expensive. But the Sequoia kept going, smoothly, reliably, almost as if it had no idea it was supposed to stop. People often think a million-mile car must involve some kind of miracle, but the truth is surprisingly simple. The owner followed a few basic habits. First, regular oil changes. Engine oil is the bloodlight of any engine. Without it, metal parts grind together and destroy themselves. Second, preventative maintenance. Instead of waiting for problems to become disasters, he fixed small issues early. Worn belts, old filters, fluids that needed replacement. Third, smooth driving. Most of the driving happened on highways. Highway driving is much easier on engines than stop-and-go city traffic. And finally, he used quality parts whenever something needed replacing. No shortcuts, no neglect, just consistent care. And slowly, the miles kept climbing. Eventually, the Sequoia crossed an incredible milestone. 500,000 miles. That's more than 800,000 kilometers. By this point, many vehicles would have gone through multiple engines, but this SUV kept running. Mechanics who inspected it were amazed. The engine still performed strongly. The transmission shifted smoothly. The vehicle still felt dependable. Word started spreading among mechanics and car enthusiasts. Something special was happening. The miles continued to rise. 600,000 miles, 700,000 miles, 800,000 miles. Think about that. By now, the SUV had traveled farther than driving across the United States over 300 times. But the Sequoia kept doing what it always did, starting every morning, driving every day, refusing to quit. Finally, the odometer approached a number almost no vehicle ever reaches: 1 million miles. About 1.6 million kilometers, a distance so large that most people can barely imagine it. And yet, this SUV had done it. When Toyota engineers heard about the million-mile Sequoia, they were fascinated. Vehicles that survive that long are extremely valuable for research, so Toyota contacted the owner. They offered to buy the Sequoia back, not to sell it, not to restore it, but to study it. Engineers wanted to take it apart piece by piece to understand exactly how it survived so long. When the engineers examined the vehicle, they were surprised. Yes, some parts had been replaced over time. That's normal for any high-mileage vehicle. but many original components were still functioning. The engine design had held up remarkably well. The cooling system was durable. The drivetrain remained strong. The Sequoia had proven something important. Durability doesn't come from complicated technology. Sometimes it comes from simple, strong engineering. The Million-Mile Sequoia is more than just a car story. It's a reminder. Machines are capable of incredible endurance when two things come together: good engineering and responsible ownership. In a world where many people replace cars every few years, this owner chose patience, care, consistency, and in doing so, he turned an ordinary SUV into a legend. Driving 1 million miles is roughly the same as circling the Earth 40 times, and one simple SUV, the Toyota Sequoia, managed to do exactly that. For now, it's a goodbye. See you in the next one.